Skeleton Studios podcast with Mark and Sam. What's up, guys?
What up?
Welcome back. This week's episode is all about Patreon, that clickbait title we got, and questions.
Yep.
Or should I say, question, because there's only one. After all that, we got one question. We'll get to that at the end of the show here.
How many episodes was that for one question?
This is episode 7.
It's alright. It's okay.
Yeah, whatever. You guys don't care about us, it's cool. Well, anyways, should we address the elephant in the room? And that'll lead us into Patreon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this isn't just a clickbait title. This is indeed the last episode of Season 1 of the Skeleton Studios podcast.
That's right. We're ending it.
We're going to be going on a indefinite hiatus with the podcast.
Right.
Just taking a break. Basically, it's just very time consuming and not that much fun to edit.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, actually.
We just want to be making different kind of YouTube content, and like we said back in podcast 1, podcast 3, if we don't like doing what we're doing, we're going to do something different.
Exactly.
So we're going to strive to make different types of videos. We're aiming to make 100 videos this year.
100, that's right.
This is made up of 7 of them, and we decided we do not want 50 of those videos to be the podcast. We are going to try and get an intern this summer.
Right.
And maybe the intern can help us edit these, and we'll bring it back. With some higher production.
Yeah, we're spending like 15 hours developing these and producing them and getting them out, and I think we'd like to be doing more of our original style content.
Yeah, analytically speaking too, it's kind of hurting our YouTube channel.
Yeah. We will be starting a new YouTube channel for a podcast.
Yeah.
Called Skeletons Cast or Skelly Cast or something cast. Stewart Cast.
Anyways, we'll probably upload all of Season 1 on that new channel eventually.
Yeah.
If you guys are saddened by that, let us know in the comments below. If you still are seeking this type of podcast format content, it is not completely going away. Oh.
That's a problem.
Yeah, let's take a time out.
Hold on.
How is this leading into Patreon? Because if you are still seeking this type of podcast content from Skeleton Studios, it will be available once a month on our Patreon throughout this hiatus.
Yeah, and we have been doing that actually. It was on our $10 tier, right?
We were considering changing our tiers if people are interested in it and there seems like enough of a demand. Mm-hmm. You may be thinking to yourself, why should I pay you guys on your Patreon? What the heck is that? We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna tell you all about Patreon.
Yep.
And tell you more about this exclusive podcast we got on there.
Right.
So yeah, let's hop right into it. Patreon was founded in May 2013 by musician Jack Conte. He was looking for a way to make a living from his success on YouTube, and together with Sam Yam.
Sam Yam.
That's a funny name. Him and Sam Yam developed a platform that allows patrons to support artists every time they create a piece of art or every set amount of time. That's a customization you can do in Patreon. And it's basically, I compare it to a tin can, in the street. Like a busker, a musician can make money with this tin can out in the street.
Right. This
is our tin can. Patreon, it's the tin can of the future. It works on the internet. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Another analogy would be like a continual Indiegogo or GoFundMe kind of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can just sign up and then you get to interact and have rewards for being part of the community. It's fun.
So yeah, let's talk about Jack Conte. He is the CEO of Patreon.
Right.
He's a musician. Mm-hmm. And he's a creator.
He's a colorful dude, man. He does a lot of funny stuff. Good stuff. Lots of good work.
He's actually a wildly successful creator.
Yeah.
On YouTube. He has 3 YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool that he went and made something like Patreon, because, you know, even someone with as much success as him, he went and, you know, went forth with Patreon, because even if you get to that level, maybe you can't make a living off of it.
Yeah.
And most people can't even get as far as he has. He has 3 successful YouTube channels: Jack Conte, 330,000 subs, and 40.5 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Pompaloose Music, which is him and his wife.
Right.
And they collaborate with other musicians. 626,000 subs, 143.2 million views.
Yep. Yeah.
And Jack Conte Extras, this is his smallest channel, 120,000 subs and 4.3 million views.
And this was kind of like whatever he wanted to put on there, with like little mini vlogs and just thoughts, anecdotes of things.
Yeah, he is a great musician, a great content creator. He makes really good videos.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's a great CEO.
Yeah.
Patreon is doing very well, and it's a great platform.
What if they have that crazy number on their site, like the millions they've paid out to artists?
Oh yeah,
It's absurd. Millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
They take a small cut so they can
remember
run the company, but it's definitely fair, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm down to support this kind of company that is created to support other artists.
Yeah. Jack was keen on seeing that algorithms on YouTube change a lot and are fickle, and that they don't necessarily coincide with what creators are doing. And he was like, wow, this is great, you could make a ton of money for a year or two, but, you know, then the next year you could be left high and dry. So he wanted to come up with a platform that was, you know, consistent, where you could like actually make moves. You're like, oh wow, for the past 10 months we've been making $3,000. I know that I can make an investment for next month based on that money. So it's like a small salary for a YouTuber. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or any creator.
Not to mention, really help the small creator, because
Yeah.
maybe you never even got to that level where you were making reasonable YouTube monetization even at your peak.
Right, right.
And, you know, that was never really a viable salary for you.
Yeah.
You can still have a strong base, a strong fan base or community that is down to support you.
Absolutely. You can see this on a lot of YouTubers. Like, search any of your favorite YouTubers right now on Patreon. A lot of them are on there. And even YouTubers who have under 100,000 subs are substantially making enough money to be able to continue making YouTube videos.
Yeah. So I think there's this notion that if you're given money as an artist, you're just like sitting around and doing nothing, and
Right.
you're just like taking free money, and it is quite the opposite.
Yeah.
We're always working for free,
Right.
if not pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
The fact that we are asking, you know, to get tipped out, to get paid out, you know, no pressure. It's like, Patreon set up, hey, we'll give you something back if you want to support us. We're very
Right.
thankful, and we'll give you these extra little bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But the idea that, you know, we're getting free money is, you know, that's not real.
It's out of context. It's really interesting.
We are spending hours and hours and hours creating these videos that hopefully other people enjoy, learn things from.
Yeah. And we get lots of benefits from them that aren't money.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got to keep the lights on and stuff.
Yeah. And why should people support artists, maybe someone would say.
Right.
Why should an artist get paid when, you know, we need doctors and lawyers and police officers and things like that?
Well, that's a wonderful question, Mark. Well, this idea of patronage is not new. It's actually been around for hundreds of years. So I always use this example. Perfect example here, Beethoven, you know, the musical genius who everyone knows Beethoven, Beethoven's Fifth.
Wait, who's Beethoven?
Who? Beethoven. Look at this.
What?
Beth Oven?
You talking about Bay?
One of Beethoven's biggest fans was the Archduke Rudolph, whose extremely generous support allowed the composer to continue living and working in Vienna. Beethoven, in turn, dedicated a number of important works to the Archduke, including blah, 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 all these different concertos and stuff. So, like, this dude, who is even recognized as a musical genius of the time, would sell his symphonies now and again, but was primarily being funded by, people of the upper class.
A patron.
Yeah, a patron. Similarly, if you look in history, almost every single piece done by Michelangelo. Now, I'm not comparing us to these artists. I'm just saying, like, art is commissioned. And the idea that someone would accept money or people paying that out and waste it is really, really odd, you know?
Yeah. Art does exist for free.
Yeah.
But the quality and quantity of art that you can get when it's paid, when that artist can dedicate all of their time to art,
right,
is much more rewarding, you know?
Yeah, especially with this platform where we can have a little bit of creative control. Like, it's cool with Patreon because people can comment and interact and we can talk, and and maybe even they can have an impact on what we make. But we're not being controlled.
Right.
Whereas when we take a client project,
it's completely controlled.
It's completely controlled and no one gets to see it.
Right.
It's an advertisement.
Yeah, the funding that we're getting on Patreon is going towards our productions.
Right.
Not something that we're making for somebody else that won't be seen.
Right, right.
The opportunities are really endless when an artist can continue to create with all of their time. So right now we have to work on, other projects that aren't our own a lot.
Right.
As well as side jobs. And the more we get away from that, the more time we're going to spend creating original projects.
Exactly. And we're not trying to just completely get rid of all of our client gigs. It's like we gotta continue that. It's just
we want to quit our side jobs.
Yeah, yeah, big time, man, big time.
But yeah, I think that the world would be a pretty boring place without art.
Yeah,
I think it makes the world more beautiful and more enjoyable to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So support your local artists.
That's Jack's big vision. Is I remember listening to this podcast with him where he said he wants to, in 10 years, he's like literally like in this decade, saying that there'll be kids in school who, they'll be like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a creator. I want to, I want to be a creator. And people are actually that's going to be a profession.
Mm-hmm.
And he is
putting
everything into this, everything. I mean, Jack has really scaled back on a lot of things he has done in the past to focus on this vision.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I really like about Patreon is like you were saying, like hundreds of years ago, it was kind of like upper class people were supporting these artists. Where now it's like, oh, you have like a favorite YouTuber, like you personally can support that YouTuber
with $1.
Yeah, with $1, and like maybe get access to some exclusive content, which is cool.
Totally.
And I just think that's awesome. It's just like, if I watch somebody's YouTube videos every day and they like pump me up and I like them a lot, it's just like I've never personally given them anything, and to throw them $1 once a month, like that's cool,
Absolutely.
It's like if I were to go see a band, when I buy my ticket, I'm giving them money, but we're not selling tickets to our YouTube videos,
No.
This is just a little way to, support other artists or creators. And it's not just YouTube, it's musicians, artists, like anything's on there. Even people that are like nomads and create content that way and travel around the world. People support them traveling and help pay for their travel.
Right.
And out of that, they create cool content.
Yeah. It's a really cool concept.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we talk a little bit about the tiers and how the website works?
Yeah.
I think Patreon's a pretty cool website.
Yeah, it's really easy to work. It feels a lot like any other social platform. So you can click on a profile and you can scroll down and check out all the posts. A lot of people, and us specifically, you have to pay the minimum tier to be able to view that feed. That's important though, because you don't want this. This is a special feed. It's different from the Facebook feed. It's different from our Instagram. It's different from the bio or whatever we write underneath the YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
It's specifically talking to the Patreon people, and a lot of it is asking questions and trying to interact. So it's really more of a community feel than a lot of other social platforms.
Yeah, I really like the layout too. It's less like it's like a more finely tuned, clean Facebook, if
Totally.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Easy and organized to look through everything, and more detailed. You can download stuff.
Right.
Some of our tiers, we said earlier, we have an exclusive Patreon podcast.
Yeah.
We upload once a month where Sam and I discuss what we have been doing for the past month, what we have planned ahead in the future, and just we'll answer questions. People can interact with us there. We have a question to answer for our next exclusive Patreon podcast.
Yeah.
We also upload a photo once a month that you can download and use as a wallpaper if you'd like.
Yep.
The higher tiers, you can actually interact with us on a video chat level.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Not that like I'm super special, but like
No, but if you are out of state and have no access to us, like, I mean, right now if you shoot us a DM, like we'll talk to you.
Right.
But you know, let's say you want a 30-minute conversation and like talk about some video ideas and want some help, like,
Right.
we got you.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy the platform. I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super happy it exists. Good job to Jack Conti. He's a beast.
He sure is.
He blows my mind, like the types of videos he is capable of making.
Yeah.
And yet he's like the CEO of Patreon too. It's just like, what?
You should check out. We'll link his channel down below in this video, and you can see he's got a really creative style.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of sound effects. He's a musician primarily, so like he'll like do little scores to his videos and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's really creative.
He is very creative.
Yeah. Cool dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Jack. What's up, dude?
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jack?
All right. Anything else on Patreon? Guys, if you want to see more of the podcast, let us know in the comments. But
Yeah.
just know the exclusive Patreon podcast is out there.
Yeah. It's not that we don't like the podcast, by the way. We love the podcast. It's just not right now. It's not for right now. But it's good. It was a good experience. And thanks everyone who came on the podcast.
All right. Question time?
Question time. It's good time for a question.
Let's get to the one question. This is pretty exciting.
It is.
I'm pumped.
This kid kind of read our mind a bit.
So yeah, one question to answer.
Yeah.
Sorry it took a while to answer to the guy that did ask the question. When you asked this question, we already had several podcasts shot, so this is our first opportunity to answer.
Right.
So here we go. Question. Max's Flip Video says, "Can't remember why I subbed, but I'm glad I did, guys.
Nice.
Will you ever get a real skeleton?"
Now, do you think he means like actual human bones? Or do you think like...
I don't think that we could get a human bone skeleton unless we found it at a garage sale or something.
Right.
I think only like a few schools have those, but those are illegal. You can't get them anymore.
Right. You have to like...
They do exist.
Yeah, I remember there was one in my school when we grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was real except for like the sternum and stuff was rubber, but the rest of it was real bones.
I mean, if we come across one, absolutely. Yeah, okay.
Maybe we'll find one in New Orleans.
Yeah. If we find a real skeleton, like, yes, if anybody knows of one that a school is getting rid of or anything, let us know.
You think the spirit of the skeleton is in the bones? That'd be creepy, man. I don't know if I want to be at the studio late night with that thing in here.
You're gonna have to be. If he didn't mean a real actual human skeleton,
Yeah. What do
the
you
answer
mean?
is still yes.
Yeah.
If you mean getting a Halloween skeleton, we have one that we borrow sometimes from our buddy Tyler.
We're probably going to end up purchasing one, though.
Yeah.
It's fun. If you watch obviously you're watching, if you watch the podcast, the skeleton that kind of animates, that is that skeleton. We like animated his mouth in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our skeleton.
Well, they're obviously watching.
Because, I mean, he commented on the question, right? Or was that for
for him specifically?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the answer is yes. Either way.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a real skeleton, to be honest.
It would be creepy.
Yeah, but it would be perfectly anatomically correct.
Yeah, it would
so
be.
sweet. you can't really get the Halloween ones quite like that. It's never quite right.
Right. Yeah.
Too complex.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to ask any more questions, leave them below.
Yeah.
We will either answer them in season 2, or maybe just comment back the answer, or maybe we'll talk about it in the
I feel like throw in a video, maybe. Who knows?
exclusive Patreon podcast. I don't know. Tell us what you guys think. Are you sad that the podcast is ending, or are you like, thank God, get rid of this content?
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, we didn't say what the exclusive podcast was really about.
We did.
Did we? Oh, okay.
We said
like how it's like interactive, like it's supposed to be more of like a...
Well, we said in the exclusive Patreon podcast, we talk about what we've done that month.
That's right.
What's coming up, and you can ask us questions.
Yeah.
Like, we're saying that in the podcast, and whatever is asked and talked about will be a lot of the content of the next one.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see it actually being constructed by you, the audience.
You know, why don't we tell them the question that
Right
we
now?
did get? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
This
we
one?
won't answer it right now, but
You could put it in the podcast.
what's going to come?
So the question was by Marcia Skelton. So, and she's asking how green screens worked. We've been doing a lot of green screen work lately for some client gigs and for some fun stuff on the side. And
So if you wanna see the answer, we're gonna dive into that one. We got some experience.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
We'll tell you all about it.
All right.
Well, it's been fun, guys.
Yep. So long until next season.
Subscribe, 5-star, comment, question. Give us some money.
Oh my god. So shameless.
I'm just playing. Nobody's gonna give us any money. Or will they? Alright,
I'm
guys.
hearing that music coming. There it is.
Alright, just let's get out of here. It's been fun.
All right.
We'll catch you guys on another video.
All right.
Peace.
Later.